Brought to you by the WZIP sports team.
This is Zips Gameday,
Featuring pregame analysis.
another quarterback who likes to hurt the defense with his legs, looking for the Zips to stop the run this week. The hottest takes.
And the Zips are going to beat the Rutgers Scarlet Knights by a score of 48-17.
Oh, come on, be for real, Dad.
Wow.
And all you need to know before game time.
We have to remember the Zips have not won here in nearly 20 years.
This is the year they're changing it all. Zips win this game.
Zips Game Day kicks off now.
Hello, Zips fans, and welcome to another edition of Zips Game Day. I'm your host, Dev Lucas. We got a full house here today, including an expert in Sean Wick.
I'm glad you called me an expert.
Woohoo! Yay!
Yeah, I like football. Football's pretty cool.
Football is pretty cool. Juan
I like
Ariano
football.
sitting
Yo,
right next to
I'm
me. You're
finally
back.
I'm finally back, yeah.
And we got Liam.
What's up?
And Ty Paulson behind the glass.
I'm here to bring the energy today. What's up, guys?
Zips go on to lose against Kent State. It was in overtime, 42-35. Zips kind of fought their way back in this game, though. They were once down 35-17. Just what do you guys kind of take away from the Zips and Kent State game?
Man, defense was you can't let up 45 or 42 points against Kent State. And also O-line, something I saw on as I was like watching the highlights of that game because I wasn't able to see it because of work. We got sacked. Ben Finley got sacked 3 times in one drive, which is atrocious.
Yeah, I think the offense was good. I really do. I mean, Ben Finley, 5th best performance by an Akron QB in terms of yardage. He is just below Charlie Fry. Charlie Fry 4th, 446 yards he had against Morgan State back in 2002. I should
Dalton.
say.
That was Dalton.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
2004, Charlie Fry. You have Ben Finley against Kent State, his 424-yard performance.
Most against Kent State for an Akron quarterback. That's pretty important to mention,
Yeah.
I would say.
This might have been one of the best performances against Kent State that we have seen, at least in recent memory.
Yeah, definitely in recent memory. At least for an offense.
Yeah.
Just as a whole. Because I'm sure we were going to mention a little bit later, Marcel Williams, over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good day for Akron offense. Not a great day in terms of the score. I said before the game started, I was like, all right, this kind of feels like a program-defining game for either team. I was thinking, could it be, if Akron wins, is this final step of this rebuild, and are they finally starting to make their way up? Or if they end up losing, do they kind of fall back to the 2-10 world that we were living in from basically 2019 until Joe Moorhead, I guess after about 2 years of Joe Moorhead. So, I don't know. They played well enough, the offense. The defense kind of took a step back, but what say you guys?
I think the special teams really what cost them this game. I mean, you have the muffed punt, you have the missed kick. You erase those 2 mistakes, the Zips win this game in regulation. It's that simple. You got to do it in all 3 phases of the game.
Yeah, a lot of mental mistakes.
And another thing about the special teams is every kickoff that we had throughout the game, it was either a squib. We had the one fake that we recovered, so scratch one off. But most of the kickoffs were a squib or a pooch where you put Kent State onto their own 30, 40, 45-yard line to start with. I mean, starting at midfield, pretty much any drive, you just have so much momentum and you have a full playbook to work with. It was just an interesting decision for the special teams coordinator and Joe Moorhead that I was a little puzzled at. We were wondering, because Dev, you and I were there, we were wondering if there was an injury with the kicker, but at the last kickoff after they got the game-tying touchdown and 2-point conversion, it was a touchback right through the end zone. I know that the wind was blowing the opposite direction of them from half the game in the second half where they scored most of their points, but it was just interesting to see the decision there.
Yeah, it did look like, I was kind of wondering, I was like, is Owen Wiley hurt? Because a lot of the kicks were kind of kept on the ground throughout most of the game. And that one where Marcel Williams recovered, it was great. There was another one where it kind of just died around midfield, and we thought maybe Akron recovered another one.
I really think that was intentional. Obviously, we should have asked Joe Moorhead that in the post-game presser, but where it was kicked was there was just such a dead zone there in between people. If it was intentional, I mean, it was a great design. They just unfortunately weren't able to jump on the ball there.
Yeah. And we kind of talked about Marcel Williams, third highest receiving yards in a single game by an Akron Zip receiver, the freshman player, over 200 yards receiving. And the Zips do have a lot of youth in their wide receiver core. And if he stays, who knows? I mean, this was his best game all season. He has only around, I think he's only around like 300 yards for the whole season. But just what do you take away from just getting 200 of those yards in the single game?
Yeah.
So two-thirds of his yards this season came against Kent State.
Easily his best game. First game over 100 receiving yards too. And obviously he just went all out with 206.
I think it was good to see a young guy like that show that type of promise, and I think it was in a small enough of a sample size that we might not lose him in the transfer portal this year.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that to kind of look forward to next year, as you have a guy with that explosive capability to be able to go over 200 yards in a single game.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't scream like amazing talent. Just it's not like he's 6'4" where he can jump ball, catch any jump ball over a defender. I mean, great route runner, great hands, but he doesn't have anything that sets him apart from the pack. So hopefully we can keep him, and he just continues to develop, to just be a great number one for our future quarterback next year, which is what we really need, because it was a big question mark coming into the season.
I feel like this could be a hot take, but I do feel like that Akron could potentially be competing for something next year, whether or not it's bowl eligibility, whether or not it is in the hunt for the second best team in the MAC, and why not the first team in the MAC?
That's not far-fetched at all.
I know they're kind of a program that does seem like a come here for a year, ball out, and then go get paid.
Yeah.
And if you keep players, I don't know. I mean, this team, if you keep it together, it could be good. And even if you reload a little bit, most of the team this year is completely different for the most part,
Especially on defense.
and yet you're in position to beat Bowling Green if you win against Bowling Green here today, and you go 5-7, and you're 500 in MAC play. You're 3-3 at home, first time since 2017. First time you have been 500 in MAC play since 2017.
2017, the year.
That 2017 season is the last time the Zips had a winning record, and the last time that they were anywhere close to competitive, I would say, in the Mid-American Conference. And this year you're staring at being potentially a middle-of-the-pack team in the MAC, and that's a huge win, I feel like, for Akron. Just what do you guys think?
No, 100%. I think it speaks to the upward trajectory this team is going on. And, I mean, we talked about it amongst ourselves a lot that people will try to call Coach Moorhead's job into question a lot. But I really think that the way that he's pulled this team out of the depths of despair and made this sort of a destination, or at least developing into a destination that you want to come to when you're a Power 4 reject or a guy who balled out in the FCS and you're trying to take that bridge year, you come to Akron. This is one of those transition stops, and I think that it's a spot that you can live at. I think it's a spot that Akron's basketball team is in right now, and a place that's allowed them to be very successful. You're getting a lot of good talent on both ends and able to dominate at your level of competition.
Yeah, Jordan Gant is a prime example of that. FCS player, and he's staring down potentially 1,000 yards this season. First time the Zips have had a 1,000-yard rusher since, I believe, 2008. So I'm just saying, like, it totally could happen.
Honestly, it's gonna be interesting to see during the offseason if Akron is able to keep Gant, especially after this season out. He's been so good, and just overall with the transfer portal how it is, it's going to be interesting to see if he stays. Which, if he does stay, it's going to be very good for Akron, because you scratch off the possibility of looking for a good running back in the transfer portal. You already have Gant, and that would be just monumental to build off of this season. So
yeah. Just kind of wrapping up the Kent game, there were a lot of mental mistakes for Akron in that game. We talked about the muff punt. Sets up Kent State deep in Akron's red zone. That was the first touchdown of the game. Ben Finley throws a costly interception in the second half. Matthew Schramm on the first possession of the second half doinks one off the upright. And that kind of allowed them to get up 35-17. But we got to give a lot of credit for Akron. They fought back, able to tie it up. Philly special Akron style. That was an amazing play, because initially it looked like he was tackled in the backfield. Me and you, Sean, were right on the sideline watching
We were right
that.
on the sideline. We both, I think, concurred after the play that we thought he was tackled in the backfield, and then we see I think it was Marcel that threw it. So, add a thrown 2-point conversion to Marcel's resume for that game. And then he just comes around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not running fast enough. He's going to get tackled in the backfield. And then I look back on the play, Ben Finley almost falls down. He almost doesn't get out. He runs into a defensive lineman before he's able to sneak out and get into the flat. And open up for the 2-point conversion. So it was, millimeters away from just being a broken play and being down 2 points with 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and if you're Akron, I know the analytics say go defense if you win the coin toss, because then you know what you need to get. However, the defense struggled throughout the game. There were a lot of explosive plays for Kent State, and they do get one in the overtime.
Yeah.
Would you have went offense
No.
instead?
Nope.
No?
Never. Literally never would I go offense. Yeah.
You knew what you needed, and I think that the mistake happened on that third down where you take a shot into the end zone with a receiver who's pretty well covered. Obviously, looking back, it's a miss, pass interference, or hold. What can you do about it? And when you do look back, there's 2 open receivers on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
You know what you need. It's third down. You have 2 plays to get this first down. You don't have 2 plays to get a touchdown. You have 2 plays to get a first down. So, and it's so important to remember in overtime. You just got to take it one step at a time. You don't need that end zone shot.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, if it was fourth down, obviously same rules apply, but if it was 4th and goal, that's when you need a touchdown. If you get a penalty and you're back at the 15-yard line or something like that, now you got to go into the end zone. But this one, it was just that mental mistake where he tried an end zone shot and he wasn't open too.
Yeah.
The receiver was not. I think it was Marcel again. He wasn't open. He was covered. It was pretty good defense. That was where the mental mistake happened. It wasn't going on defense first.
No. Yeah, I just got to agree with you, Sean. I mean, honestly, when it's overtime, you got to think about it. Don't even think about going for the touchdown. It's just go for that first down. And just that mental mistake of trying to get it all at once by scoring a touchdown, just how Kent was able to do it. I mean, you got to play your own game. You can't honestly try to... Well, you have to match what your rival's doing, but you also got to play your game. And honestly, I feel like just how you said, Devin, how Sean has been mentioning, just that mental mistake of trying to get it all at once, trying to not do it step by step. I mean, that's just what cost us the game in overtime.
Yeah, I think what hurts Akron the most is that they didn't really have a lot of faith in Jordan Gant on 3rd and short, because on the drive he was tackled back behind the line of scrimmage for a huge loss. He lost about, I believe it was almost 5 yards. And then they get to a position where it is 3rd and 4. I would have liked to see them run it to Gant. I think if that doesn't happen, you do. On 3rd and 4, you probably hand it off to Gant. If you don't get it, you got to think it's probably going to be like 4th and 2 or something.
Yeah.
And then who knows what you do? You might bring in Michael Johnson Jr., who hasn't seen any action since the Ball State game.
Yeah.
Although it seemed like they were kind of afraid to bring him in because they didn't bring him in on the 4th and 1 play early in the game on the opening drive for Akron. So I don't know. I don't know. I still feel I'm not feeling too disappointed in this outcome. I understand we lose 42-35. It is the rivalry game, the Wagon Wheel game. But the offense, to me, this year is miles better than they were on opening day against Wyoming. They scored 35 points. The defense has taken a step back this season. It's kind of proven after they kind of looked like they were improving along MAC play. So I don't know. I'm feeling mildly confident, and I think there's a lot to be happy about with Akron. Again, 500 at home this season. Again, opportunity to potentially be 500 in MAC play with the win against Bowling Green. So I think the only thing I'm worried about is potentially a hangover effect heading into this Bowling Green game, because you put it all on the line against Kent State. You lost. You didn't end up getting it. So how much do these players really, I don't want to use the word care, but how locked in are they going to be in this final game of the season?
So a question for you, Dev. Do you think their morale is down after that loss, or do you think they're gonna take it as okay, chip on your shoulder, you lost against your rivals, now let's win out?
See, that's hard to me, because to me I look at it obviously Akron is a stepping stone for a lot of these players. So I don't know how much the Wagon Wheel game necessarily matters in the back of their minds when they're thinking potentially Power 4 school after this. However, players like a Ben Finley, who's been here for 2 years, his final game of the season is going to come against Bowling Green. He just played his final home game. He balled out, but he did not collect the win. So how much of a mental aspect is it going to be, and does Ben Finley look a little bit worse against Bowling Green here in this final game of the year?
I think when you say if the players care about this game or not, I think that's a very fair assessment, because there's only a few things that these players are going to do after this game. Either they're going to stay, for next year if they're not graduating. They're going to transfer out, which I would think that if they're going to transfer out, their mind's already made up for a lot of these players. Mm-hmm. Or they really care about this game and they're going to use this as one last chance. But for a lot of these players, the Kent game was kind of that last thing to look forward to. Mm-hmm. So now they say, okay, well, I'm not playing next year. I really don't care, you know.
Seniors.
But it will be a test for their mentality and the way this team is going. They can either just say, okay, well, you know, we lost Kent. I don't really care about I don't care about Bowling Green. You know, I'm graduating this spring, so I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna really try this game. Or they can say, you know, we lost this Kent game, but I've been there with my brothers every single day for the last 4 years. I owe it to them, and I owe it to these freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. You know, we're moving in a good direction. We have a bright future at this school. I'm going to go out there and do it for them. If that's what they show against Bowling Green, this program's heading in the right direction. But if they go out there and give up...
It simply comes down to the culture that Coach Moorhead's built over these past couple of years.
This game is bigger for the culture than the Kent game.
Yeah, this is truly a transition spot that nobody really cares about, and this is where the Zips are going to live forever. Then they're going to go out and lose this game. They're going to lay an egg. Nobody's going to care. If they come out and really show fight, I don't even care if they lose, but if they show fight, they play a good game, they play it down to the wire, and you can tell that they cared. I like the trajectory of this program in the next 3 to 5 years. I really do. Then
you're set to see that next season, where the overall culture is just going to be good next season, as you're mentioning, Liam. And just, I personally want to see in this Bowling Green game how the defense does after being so good in just 2-3 games before this Kent State game, and then you do so bad against Kent State, which
I
want
to say UMass every week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that's true. But just overall, how you've been doing so good in defense, and then against Kent State, you let them put up 42 points. I just want to see how they are able to bounce back, and if they bounce back.
But while it wasn't ideal, I think we go back to what we said earlier, and the defense wasn't always set up for success by the team the whole game. And also, they came up with stops when they needed to. I mean, you get that big fumble in the second half. The Zips defense came to play when they needed to within regulation.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can fully fault the defense for this. I think the Zips got outplayed, honestly, in
really, you can say
of the game. It just comes down to execution.
Yeah, even in overtime. I mean, you do let up the touchdown in the on the first play of the game, but it's not like the offense didn't have a chance. You know, it's not like it was with 13 seconds left in the regulation time. You know, the offense, they had a chance to go out there and. You know, obviously, they didn't execute.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, it's just been something that's been happening mostly in every single game where, for example, you have the offense popping off on all cylinders, going off on all cylinders, and then you got the defense not doing so good, and then you have other games where the defense is good, and then offense is just atrocious. And then in this game, I feel like if it was in every quarter where we would see defense being good, offense not so good, and then just vice versa.
Yeah. And it seems like, too, that this is a story we've seen before in that the Zips were able to get all these yards. They were able to absolutely destroy Kent State in the time of possession battle, but it just comes down to the execution on drives. You've got to be able to finish drives. You've got to be able to consistently get 3 and 7 points, and they weren't able to do that as much as Kent was. I mean, it comes down to that.
Well, when you have a great running back duo, too, or, Jordan Gant in the backfield, you need to be able to use that to your advantage.
Rely
and
on
when
him,
you mentioned it earlier, Dev, when you have 3rd and goal, I think it was actually like 2nd and goal, when you're at, I think it was the 1 or 2 yard line, you need to be able to punch it in. And I don't know if it was offensive line play or if it was Jordan Gant or whatever it was. You need to be able to score the ball from 2 yards out on 3 plays.
Exactly. And just talking about this Bowling Green game, kind of been a weird year for Bowling Green. They started the season with a comfortable win over FCS Lafayette. Kind of expected that. Kind of played Cincy close, 34-20. They lose to them. Then they beat Liberty by 10, but really have struggled here down the stretch in MAC play. Their lone MAC win came against the Toledo Rockets. So same Toledo Rockets who blew out Akron. And by the way, it was the very next week, right after they blew out Akron. BG beats them in the Battle of I-75. Other than that, though, they've really struggled. Been a revolving door at quarterback. Drew Pine started majority of the games, but hasn't looked great. Throwing about 4 touchdowns to 5 picks. We've seen sophomore Lucian Anderson start a few games. He started the game against Toledo, started the game against Central Michigan for them. In all, he is compiling 26 for 41. He's got 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Been kind of like their lone mobile quarterback, though, more of a rushing quarterback for them. You got senior Baron May, who's also seen some action, and Hunter Nijum, who also has seen some action as well for Bowling Green. No word who's starting today. So who do you guys think favors Bowling Green in this matchup? I think Lucian Anderson favors Bowling Green because I think the Zips under Joe Moorhead have proven that they have a hard time stopping a mobile quarterback.
Especially how we were. I remember during Zips game day for against Miami, we were talking about it. How just overall the mobile quarterbacks are able to succeed against the Akron defense because some way somehow under Moorhead, mobile quarterbacks tend to succeed against our defense. And like you're saying, Dev, I mean Anderson does have the chance to do that against this defense, but I would see Pine starting for the Falcons.
And to kind of throw a monkey wrench in it, Hunter Nijum, he started last week against Eastern Michigan for them.
Okay.
So he's the freshman. Maybe they want to see him.
So it's just overall,
it's been kind of a weird, it's been a weird thing.
Their season's kind of lost at this point. I mean, your first year under Coach Eddie George, I think you got to see what you have in the freshmen. You keep rolling the freshmen out there. I mean, Drew Pine's basically a doctor at this point. He's been in college since basically my entire life.
Notre Dame.
So, you know what the Notre Dame legend can do. You know what you're getting with him. And honestly, at this point in the season, you know what you're getting with Lucian Anderson too. So I think you roll the freshman out there and see what you got for next year because at best, they win these next 2 for them and end up as a 5-win team. That's your absolute ceiling at this point. So why not see what you have next year?
Yeah, well, Lucian Anderson is only a sophomore, so theoretically he could come back. I don't know. So I don't know. Sean, who do you think favors Bowling Green? Would you rather see Drew Pine, freshman?
I don't know.
Lucian Anderson.
I don't know if they'll do what favors Bowling Green or what it favors Bowling Green in this matchup or what favors them in the future. I mean, I really like the idea of running out a freshman for another game. You know, it's very difficult to have a freshman quarterback start one game, then you bench him the next, and then maybe they decide to play him for their final game. That's a very unorthodox way of seeing what you have in store for a freshman quarterback. They really don't. I doubt they view this as a high-profile matchup. They view it as a winnable game, of course, but I don't think they're thinking about how many games they can win this season. They're already thinking to the future.
Two with Nijum, I mean, he's 5'11", 190 pounds. I mean, I wasn't at their team combine. I don't know what this kid runs in the 40, but to be a Division I quarterback at that size, you've got to be pretty elusive. So I'd imagine he's a dual threat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other player on offense you guys are kind of spotlighting for this matchup?
Honestly,
They're
not
tight
really.
end.
I mean, I think this team has been hallmarked by inconsistency.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really have an alpha dog at any real position. I mean, I guess you go to Jaron Johnson at tight end with being their leading receiver, but you don't really have a guy who can seemingly take over a game at any of these positions. Like, you don't have anybody who, shiver me timbers. Like, that guy just doesn't exist. That guy's not on this roster. And that's not something I expected out of Eddie George and his first year. I assumed that the recruiting would be better and they would at least have some dogs, even if it didn't look great at all times. But, man.
And it's alarming, honestly, when your tight end is your leading receiver.
I mean, that was the Zips for a decent chunk of last year.
They probably have a lot of the game plan around tight ends going back to last year with Harold Fannin. So I guess it's not super surprising. Maybe they just said, okay.
They love their tight ends.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think they have a 3-headed running attack, but none of them really eye-popping necessarily. They're all under 400 yards rushing.
Yeah.
As we're kind of coming down the stretch here with Bowling Green still having 2 games to go in this season. They got Akron and they got one more matchup after that. So I think I'm kind of keeping an eye on the rushing game. And I think this matchup favors Akron's defense a little bit more because Akron's a team that's much better against the run than against the pass. We saw it against Kent State. Not great against the pass.
I mean, it's not like the Zips haven't made a team that can't really look like they're able to throw before. I mean, this team's really only thrown for 1,500 yards.
Yeah.
The whole season. Like,
you know what's wild, Liam? Last year, we're talking about how the Zips had like an elite secondary, at least not necessarily elite, but good for MAC standards.
Yeah.
And then we felt like, it's like, man, if they could just stop the quarterback run and just stop the run in general, like this team would be competing for potentially 6 or more wins. And this year, it's like flipped. It's like they could stop the run, but it's like if they could just stop the pass, if they could just get someone in the secondary,
It's
we
like
could be
not
talking
even
about a
stopping the
7-win
pass.
Zips team.
It's not biting on a double move.
Yeah, it's the big
not
play.
letting
They
up
can't
a
say
big
it's
comes
a
down to
play.
inexperience. I mean, virtually none of these guys played last year. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you don't have we're so late in the season at this point that you don't have that excuse. You don't have that excuse that you're a young player. You don't have that excuse that you're a young secondary. But that's just what it is. We're just seeing inexperienced play at its not finest. I don't know what the word is for that. At its worst, inexperienced play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for sure.
And it
so,
doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
TikTok boy's gonna go crazy, bro.
So Jordan Gant has a chance today to rush for over 1,000 yards in the season. Last time was Dennis Kennedy back in 2008. You guys guess who the offense coordinator was that day?
Coach
I guess
Moorhead.
that season? Yeah, Joe Moorhead was the offensive coordinator for Akron. He needs 54 yards. You guys think it's going to happen?
Oh,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah, I know it was Matt Willis's bold prediction of the week that a guy who averages 5 yards a carry and touches the ball almost 20 times a game is going to rush for 50 yards. But yes, I do think Jordan Gant is going to rush for 54 yards and get to 1,000.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he was like, "That's my bold prediction of the game." Is that
He's going to get 50 yards?
Is that Jordan Gant gets to 1,000 yards? Like, yes, he'll touch the ball 11 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you guys think of the job that Joe Moorhead has done with his Akron team? Head coaching record, not great, 12-35, but you kind of take a deeper look here. The culture has seemed to shift since he got here. The team is on pace. If they win against Bowling Green, they're on pace to be better than they were last year. Last year, they won 4 games. If you lose against Bowling Green, you did exactly what you did last year. But when you look at conference play, when you look at just how you have played overall this season, even if you do finish 4-8, I think you're still better than you were last year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, just what do you think of the job of Joe Moorhead? And he's staying, right? He has to stay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you're progressing as much as you're progressing with Moorhead, you have to keep him because it only leaves you with a thought in your head of, okay, if he's been able to do this, we've been progressing, what's in store for next year? And it's honestly like it's outstanding, and also it's kind of crazy to think that Akron doesn't have a better record because when you look at the MAC player passing stats of this season, Ben Finley leads in passing yards with 2,299 passing yards. And then when you look at rushing wise, Akron also leads in that with Jordan Gant having 946 rushing yards. So, I mean, when you have 2 players who are leading in their respective where they have to lead, I mean, there's a lot that you have to be optimistic about. And honestly, I mean, I know you're very optimistic that Akron could have a better season next year. I know that, Dev.
Yes.
And honestly, I could say the same thing if we're able to keep the players that we have, which is going to be hard, especially with this whole transfer portal NIL thing. But if they're able to keep these players, Akron could do something next season for sure.
I do think so. I think they could be a dark horse in the MAC for sure. What's your guys' expectations for the Zips today against Bowling Green? I want to go to Ty first. Ty, sitting behind the glass. What's
Hey,
going to
guys.
happen?
I think that Akron Zips obviously going to take it home with a better team in every aspect.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously less turnovers. How many interceptions did Ben Finley?
threw
Ben
one.
Finley so far,
In the season?
Last
or
game
in
or
the
season?
season? Last
Against
game he had
Kent.
1.
oh, just
He has
one.
8 interceptions on the
season. 8 interceptions, yeah. 18 touchdowns.
Well, he's got to throw none of those.
Yeah.
No
I
promises.
like the way you think, man.
Ideally. I think Zips are going to win it, obviously. It's got to be a clean game. Can't lose with special teams.
Yeah.
And defense
Defense has to
cannot
play well.
let up
Yeah.
as many points as they let Kent.
Yes, that's a good expectation. Sean, expectation.
Expectation. I really just want them to go out and compete. Don't even focus on the score. Don't focus on minute things. Just focus on going out there, giving it all you can. If you make a mistake, rub it off.
Yes.
Just go out there,
On to the next play.
Yeah, right. Go out there for the teammates around you, for the future of this program. Care about something more than yourself and the past couple weeks or last week. Go
Yes.
out there and do it for the people around you.
Juan, expectation.
I mean, expectations for this game just gotta add on from what Ty and Sean said. I mean, if you're a senior, honestly, it's your last game. You got to
Yes.
ball out. You got to go everything you have, and also, like Sean mentioned, you got to think about it as a whole, not just for you as a player, but also for the institution, for the team. I mean, what better way than to, as a senior, okay, win this last game and understand that, okay, you left the team in a good standing and a good morale, and this culture is just progressive. And then overall, I mean, just expectation-wise, I just don't want Ben Finley to throw an interception. I sincerely don't, because just looking at the stats, the only 2 games where he has, or should I say 3 games where he hasn't thrown an interception was against UMass, UAB, and Nebraska.
Yeah.
But the rest of the games, he's at least thrown an interception. So if we're able to limit those in this last game, hopefully, it would be a great way to send yourself off.
Yeah. I'm expecting the defense to play better and the offense to play just as good as they did. Let's get to the locks of the game, Liam. Something guaranteed to happen. Just give it to
Something
me.
guaranteed to happen. So I'm just going to set the scene for you.
Okay.
It's November 18th. It's a rather blustery day in Bowling Green, Ohio. The wind's whipping. The night stars are shining. And between the 2 teams, the Akron Zips and the Bowling Green Falcons miss at least 2 kicks. That's my lock of the game.
Poetic.
Over 2.5 or over 1.5 combined missed kicks for this game. Mark it
Field
down.
goals
It
or
will
just
happen. Here we
kicks in general?
Kicks in general.
All right.
I see it happening.
Wow.
Jordan Gant, in his potential Akron curtain call, 100 yards rushing, he's going to have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
For me, my lock of the game would be for Ben Finley to have 2 passing touchdowns.
Okay, Sean.
I'm going to go on a negative note here.
Oh, no.
I'm saying Ben Finley over 1.5 interceptions.
Okay, Ty.
I
Get to me
think
quick.
Ben Finley under on interception.
Whoa, hey,
You hear the crowd, they're cheering for it. So I tell you what.
Either one could win this.
All right. Prediction standings.
He gets
Matt
1.5.
Willis, he is 7-4. He gave us his prediction already. He says Akron is going to win.
Man.
I'm 6-5. You're 6-5 when we're both 1 game back.
Man.
Sean, you were 0-1. This is your debut. We need to give us the score. And Ty, you're 0-1. Courtney Brown's 0-1. Mitch Kobe, believe it or not, he's 2-0.
Wow.
And
Shout out
Liam,
quarter by quarter.
you're
Yeah.
4-5. So you can no
Yeah.
longer
Right.
win the WZIP Cup. Ty, go to you first.
I think Zips taking it 27-20.
Okay. Juan.
27-14.
Okay. Sean.
Zips win.
28-10. Zips win.
Okay. Liam.
I'm going to basically Price is Right Juan here. I'm going 27-13 Zips.
Okay, so I think we're all going to say that Akron's going to win. So that means that Matt is going to win the metaphorical WZIP
Well, unless
Cup.
you want to say maybe Bowling Green. You want to say Bowling Green just in case?
No, I
win.
can't
It's
do
Dev's
that.
last
I
game
can't,
day.
I can't do this. It's my last game day for football anyways,
Yeah.
and I can't,
So
I
he
can't
has
do
to
it.
he has to finish off with
So
Yeah.
just
sad.
saying the Zips.
So give it to me loud now.
Yeah.
Your Akron Zips are going to blow out the Bowling Green Falcons by a final score of 27. You can hear the crowd now.
Dev put his own
27
stadium noise on this. We didn't hear
6.
anything.
The Zips are going to win this game, and they're 5-7 overall, better than last year. And you ride that high into next season when the Zips are MAC champions.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Any final thoughts, guys?
I mean, honestly,
Preloading your predictions for next year.
I have to
insane.
do it
It's
now.
insane.
12-0, and you're MAC champions. Next
12-0.
12-0.
Any
Wow.
What's our
thoughts,
schedule
guys?
next year?
I mean-
we don't know it yet. Anyway,
Oh, honestly, I think they're going against. Oh my God, I was looking at their schedule next year. They do travel to like some good teams. Though,
well,
for sure.
we'll see what happens. Anyways, final thoughts on
But
the Bowling
honestly,
Green game.
Bowling Green wise, Akron, you got to do your thing. You got to play good. You got to play how you played against Kent State. Offensive wise, not defensive wise, you got to come on. You can't get burnt on those 1-2 steps. You got to play better defense. You got to show why you're that defense. Why Akron is known for their defense. Because honestly, I mean, throughout the season, me, Dev, Liam, Sean, Matt, Ty, we've seen that this defense is capable of a lot of things.
Yes.
And if they're able to do it throughout the season, they should be able to do it in this game. And just overall for Ben Finley, for the seniors, win this game. Send yourself off with a win.
Yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today on Zips Game Day. Hoping for a Zips closeout win against Bowling Green in Bowling Green.
Hopefully.
And again, big thanks to Ty Paul sitting behind the glass today, keeping
Thank you,
us.
Ty.
Our
We
He's our goat.
love Ty. Ty is the greatest person ever.
So beautiful.
Big thanks to you guys as well for joining me, Liam, Juan, and Sean. Hopefully the Zips
Juan
win
and Sean.
today.
Wow, Sean.
Yes. Let's go,
Queen
Zips.
Sean.
Have a good one.